story is super gruesome. From March 2015 till July 2016, the Cheshire Hospital realised that there was a really high rate in infant fatalities. And this was often kids in the neonatal, I know I'm saying it wrong, but it's like kids that need an extra bit of help because they're born premature, there were some complications, but all these kids that either died or were about to die were all improving, and then all of a sudden something happened. And I remember when this particular case was on the telly in the news, and I couldn't really look into it at the time because I think I was just like, I can't deal with that. But I ended up watching the Lucy Letby documentary on Netflix, so let's talk about it. I have my notes here. I've also just recorded a previous video, so yeah, that's why I'm in my same clothes for 2 videos in a row. But yeah, Lucy Letby is a formal neonatal nurse. I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm a dyslexic bitch and I really try to pronounce things. And sometimes I try to listen right before. So yeah, I'm just going to refer to her as a nurse for the rest of this video because otherwise I'm going to cringe the whole time editing this video. And I'm not trying to be funny on a serious matter either. I'm just uncomfortable sometimes and I just have to talk about it. I'm just going to move because the lighting's slightly better. I'm in the middle of finishing painting this room. Yeah, never mind. Murdering 7 babies and attempting 7 others. The video documentary. The most shocking thing is how this documentary starts. So it basically says this is like footage that no one else has seen before and they're going to share it. Fair enough. But then it kind of shows like the police going into her house to arrest her for the first time and the second time. They are so fucking nice to that girl. It is the most infuriating thing and it made me so fucking mad that they're literally standing there going, "Hi Lucy, we want to arrest you because you murdered a load of babies in the hospital. I'm trying to say goodbye to your kitty. Do you mind putting on some shoes? Lucy, I'm really sorry for waking you up." Now they weren't obviously that nice, but that's what they say. "Sorry we have woke you up so early." Why are they so nice? Why are they allowing her to say goodbye to her cat? Like, I don't understand why they were so nice to this woman that was literally up for like 17 murders and attempted murders on babies that have no way of defending themselves. And I know like a life is a life, but like a baby genuinely in that condition who's in a unit that they're already fighting for their life is then being attempted murder or being murdered. I was just so frustrating in the couple of scenes. There was just something really frustrating about that. I just don't know why they were so nice to her. Like, if someone can explain that in the comments, that would be nice. So she joined the hospital in 2012. And in June 2015, there was a spike in the infant mortalities. Basically, these were like babies that were all of a sudden, their parents had been told, like, we're getting on board, the baby's getting healthier, everything's going good. And then all of a sudden, they would die. They would have these rashes, they would have issues with them and just die at a drop of a hat. Like literally they would try to resuscitate and rehelp them and nothing would happen. I'm not going to mention any of the babies because I feel like the names were changed in the documentary and also the people that were talking. So Lucy's best friend was talking and one of the baby's parents and stuff. And I think it was all AI. So it was really trippy watching that it was AI. I hope that's not a thing that's done forever. Like either get them to talk with the black with the voice changer or something, but get rid of the AI because that just looked really weird, I think. Lucy was the only nurse that was on duty for each of these deaths and each of the attempted deaths. And they realised all of them were night shifts because she did night shifts. So what the hospital decided to do was just to move her to day shift, and then all of a sudden it started happening on day shift. I think it's really hard when I want to talk about videos. I don't necessarily want to say my actual opinion because, you know what I mean, people can be swayed, but it is really hard with the evidence and the way she acted when she was like arrested, the way she acted like in the court, like just how people said she acted in the courtroom, it was extremely numb. That's the way I can put it, is she just acted so numb and so out of it, and I'm just so confused as to what's the story here. I just think she has serious psychological issues, but I don't think she really got tested for like any psychological issues. So July 2018 was when she was first arrested and questioned. They went through the house, they found paperwork of each child that shouldn't have been at the house to do with like their hospital history, their death, and when she was questioned about that, she said, "Oh, it was just like bits of paper in my pocket." And they were like, "Really? Like, 300 bits of paper was like accidentally in her pocket, and it's just of these kids that were killed or attempted. That's interesting. So why didn't you get rid of it? And she was like, well, I didn't have a shredder to get rid of it, and I'd have to because I get in trouble if I brought it back. And then they realized in the photos that she did have a shredder at her house, so she could have. So it kind of seemed like one of them weird trophy things that people would keep. And then they also found diaries of her talking to herself, basically confessing to the murders and saying how evil she is. Maisie, her friend from college, basically says she was amazing. She really liked Lucy. They got really along in hospital. They went to the same university. They met there. She talked about how Lucy's parents really loved her and were so proud of her for being a nurse. I think she was an only child, Lucy. And Maisie said they went to train in the same hospital together. But she said the hospital they went to train in, which was the Cheshire one, that it was very cliquey. The nurses weren't very nice, and she was very confused why Lucy decided to stay on there to continue her career in that hospital. Kind of like the outline, that's all the information that they have. Yeah, I mean, depends whatever way you look at it. It can seem like all the evidence is pointing towards Lucy, but so she spent 23 She spent 23 months awaiting trial. COVID happened during this, I guess. In some of the interviews, she's like wearing a face mask and stuff. So she was done for 8 murders and 10 attempted murders. I can't remember if that's what she was being accused of, and I can't remember if that was exactly what she was charged for in the end. But in August 2023, she got life in prison, and it came in that she was giving the children insulin or putting air in the tubes to put into their body. And then it talked about really weird that she would not weird, because she did message some of her colleagues the night like one of the babies died, being like, this has happened, blah blah blah, really sad. And then they also realized that she was looking up the parents around that same time on Facebook, and she said, oh, I don't know why I was doing that. And her lawyer was basically like, she's just nosy, which is okay, but it's not unusual to message your colleagues when something has happened, especially like a baby when you're looking after them. But it just, all of it just seems so sus. So yeah, again, she was just like really, really numb the whole way through, and I think she either didn't do it and just has like some sort of issues, or she did do it and she's really severely psychotic. So in September 2024, Mark MacDonald, a criminal defense lawyer, basically came out saying she had no motive, there was no CCTV, didn't believe she did it. He went on telly, he tried to prosecute it and prove she was wrong. They haven't gone any further with his claims. Lucy's parents have asked him to help, but he hasn't. And yeah, well, he has done as best he can, but hasn't gone back to trial. And in his point of view, if he is wrong, she is set free, she's a murderer, and if he's right, the right murderer gets caught. Because that's kind of it. When you start to doubt the evidence, it's like, well, what about if we're wrong? There was someone still working in the hospital that is going to harm babies, and maybe they'll just take a break for a year or two, and then they'll go back onto it. Or maybe they'll try something different. Blame the hospital, basically say they're short-staffed, but no matter how short-staffed the hospital is, I still don't think there's a reason for murder. Basically, that's everything that was in the documentary. My conclusion is she seems sus because of the way she acted when she was arrested. So frustrated how the police treated her. I feel like if it was a woman of color, or if it was a man or something, they would have treated her a lot worse, because she was a blonde white woman. I think she got off pretty easy off the police. But I do think, I don't know if she's guilty or not. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to say what I've seen in the documentary. But yeah, watch it for yourself. It's only an hour and a half. But yeah, she's just super sus. I'd even just look up photos or TikTok video of the interviews, because she's just sus in the way she acts. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Colleen, and this is Colleen's Chats, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what topic you'd like me to talk about next week. I'm thinking of doing something a bit more positive, and like talking about someone's progression in their career in a positive way. I feel like this channel needs some good, so might do that for the next week. But thank you so much for watching.